Hey everybody, Nicholas Snow here with PromoHomo.TV, and this is a very special episode of Hot in Palm Springs. And my special guest is PR guru David Perry. Now, telling stories for their clients is the heart of David Perry and Associates Inc., helmed by none other than David himself, CEO and founder, and Alfredo Casuso, principal and creative director. By the way, they're approaching 25 years together in business and in love. They're fabulous. And they've got so many stories to tell for their clients and based upon their own social interests that I thought, you know what? Why not have David on to talk about all of his clients? So I do want to clarify, this is not advertorial. I'm not being paid to do this. But David and his partner Alfredo are longtime supporters of this network because they became PromoHomo.TV superstars. And people can support PromoHomo.TV by subscribing for as little as $10 a month. And David and Alfredo have been some of my longest, consistent, and most devoted supporters. And they've chosen a level above $10 a month. So I just want to acknowledge I do have a professional relationship with David. I have a monetary relationship with him in that he supports my whole network. But I'm having him on because he's not only a PR guru, but he also is a journalist in his own right. You might see his broadcasts, which start with his signature, "Ahoy!" Makes me think of Gilligan's Island. But David and Alfredo are wonderful. Now, the reason I'm starting this with a graphic of Bond, James Bond, is because one of the things that I want you to know about is this is going out on October 6th, but on Friday, October 7th, and Saturday and Sunday, October 8th and 9th, there are 3 performances of Bond, James Bond. And the men of Acapello, I always say acapella because I'm used to singing a cappella, which is completely different. But acapello is this amazing men's singing group. And they're doing the music of Bond. I saw their last concert, which is the music of Stephen Sondheim. And I have a treat. I have queued up some of their rehearsal footage, which I'm going to show you first because you're going to want to get tickets this weekend for that. And right after this video, I'll tell you where to look for those tickets. But let's sneak in on their rehearsal right now.
faces that you are. A pretty face can hide an evil mind. Careful what you say, give yourself away. Don't talk people that you see tomorrow.
And I'll be back with my special guest, David Eugene Perry, PR guru, right after this.
Take me out. Take me out to California. I feel the day is coming to an end, and my eyes are drawn to southern skies. But I'll be coming home soon. Yeah, I'll be coming home soon.
And welcome back to Palm Springs and my show after a glorious summer abroad, David Eugene Perry. Hi, David.
Ahoy!
Ahoy, yes. Welcome.
Well, it's great to be on, and it was great to follow Bond music. You know, I have been a James Bond fan for all my life. You know, I was born cesarean section, I think, because I wanted to come out as soon as possible so I could make the 60th anniversary of the first ever James Bond film. I actually rewatched it last night, Dr. No. And, well, I'm one of those people that was certainly gay from birth, but seeing Sean Connery with his shirt off in Bond films, it helped. And I'm such a James Bond film that without giving out my entire phone number, the last 4 digits are 007, Bond. James
Okay, I love that. So we've shown Acapello in rehearsal. We've given out the website, the show, 3 shows only, beginning tomorrow, Friday night. Tell us more about Acapello and the shows.
Well, Acapello is arguably the premier vocal group in Coachella Valley. It's all men. They do not sing a cappella, which of course many people get confused. They do sing with music. And in this case, they actually have a special guest channeling the great Dame Shirley Bassey. Sheila Ellis will be joining the Bellow Gents, the wonderful men of Acapello. And it's 7 p.m. tomorrow, Friday at CD Rep, and 4 o'clock on Saturday and 4 o'clock on Sunday. And it is to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the first James Bond film. So yesterday was the James Bond 60th anniversary. I made a little video commemorating it because, you know, we all have hobbies, and I do love James Bond movies.
Well, and so you should, and so do I, and I think we always will, and I hope people check out the show. Now, before we get into all the other exciting events that you're going to talk about, you saw Bros this afternoon.
I did.
It's a mainstream studio film that got lots of money behind it. Billy Eichner's the brainstorm behind it. You saw it and you said it left an impression on you.
It did. You know, my husband Alfredo says that I cry at the opening of an envelope, and that is true. I tend to be emotional, but I didn't cry until the end without giving away the plot. There were many moments that were just laugh out loud. There were many moments that I think were really wisely calling our own community to task and making a little fun of us, because I think something that has been missing sometimes in the dialogue within the LGBT community is the ability to laugh at ourselves and learn from that laughter. And this is a brilliantly written movie. I think Eichner's writing really grew on me. The first few moments, I didn't quite know where it was going, but it fits a script. I mean, if this was a heterosexual romantic comedy, no one would think twice about the very intimate, very realistic romantic sex scenes. And to have this on screen as a main Hollywood big budget film to me was really quite impressive. And at the end, again, without giving away the plot, there was a moment of real revelation, and I think real, true conversation about where our gay communities, our LGBTQ communities are. I really hope it finds an audience. It didn't open as big as they had hoped, but I'm old enough to remember when Making Love came out, which was quite a big deal, almost destroyed Harry Hamlin's career. And now we have things like Will and Grace, and we have all this quote unquote queer content. I mean, I'm in the midst of having a screenplay of my book, trying to get it made into a movie. And 15 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, you wouldn't have even had the idea. Thank you for that shameless plug. I do appreciate it.
And you could see that I was queued up for
that was good. Thank you. I am in PR.
Yes.
15 years ago.
Well, you didn't tell me to do it though. I did it on my own.
That's true.
Because I'm the PromoHomo.
That's it. But maybe queer content on the big screen or the streaming screen wouldn't have been possible, but now it is. And for those of you who haven't seen Bros, I encourage you to see it. Whether or not you end up liking it or not, this really is a historic moment to see a movie with this huge a budget. It is really, really quite extraordinary. And the cast is all LGBTQ. And
the crew was too.
Yeah, the crew was too. I will confess that I love Billy Eichner, but the love interest in it, Seth MacFarlane, he can take his shirt off any time on the big screen for me. It was pretty good.
Okay, well, thank you for that review. I have not seen it yet because I've been broadcasting every single night and working a full-time job to help fund this while I get more patrons like you to give me $10 a month. I did not know this, but this is the best-selling book ever for Pace Press.
It is. They have never had a book that has sold this much. It's won 2 awards: silver medal for the Independent Book Publishers Association, gold medal, first place, San Francisco Book Festival 2021. And I'm in the midst of having it turned into a screenplay. Rodney Vance, who is a Hollywood screenwriter, is working on that now. And then the next part is the hard part, selling it. So if anyone out there is a Hollywood producer or knows someone who wants to produce the next gay mystery thriller, a book that Armistead Maupin called an elegant, twisty thriller, and that Fenton Johnson called the Gay Da Vinci Code, but a lot better, call me maybe. Because I think there is a market for LGBT content. When I wrote the book, I don't consider it a gay book. It's a mystery thriller. And the 2 main characters happen to be gay. And that to me is the world in which I want to live.
Well, fantastic. Congratulations. Keep up that good work. And next up in our cavalcade of clients that we're spotlighting for you is the Purple Room. And of course, helming the Purple Room is the fabulous Michael Holmes. So tell me, what would you like to tell us about this season at the Purple Room?
Well, the first thing is Purple Room is open. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, happy hour 4 to 6. The Tuesday nights, jazz. Wednesday nights, Michael Holmes himself is on stage. Rose Mallet on Tuesdays, Wednesdays with Darcy Daniels and Michael and Charles Herrera, and Thursdays with Sharon Sills. This weekend, I'm seeing the one and only Marilyn May. She sold out for 3 shows. This is the woman who performed 76 times on The Tonight Show, the quintessential queen of cabaret. Later in the month, you have Ricky Harris, who's made her name as being a backup singer for Madonna, but she is an epic singer in her own right. I hope you see her. Then the thing that I'm really looking forward to, Halloween week, Lee Squared, Liberace and Peggy Lee, Black Market Trust, and then the Skivvies, which is a really naughty kind of holiday show. Scott Bruce is Elvis. There's always something going on at the Purple Room. And in all seriousness, the Purple Room is unique in the United States. There are very few true cabaret dinner theater spaces left. A place that I used to work with in San Francisco, the Plush Room, doesn't exist anymore. And, outside of the Carlisle in New York City or some places scattered around the United States, there are not many places like this left. And the Purple Room is known for being the place that gave birth to the Rat Pack, Sammy and Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. There's actually an off-Broadway show going on right now about Frank Sinatra. And the plot of the show is Frank Sinatra at the bar in the Purple Room. So it's an iconic space, but to me, of all the places I've been in Palm Springs, this to me trembles up the golden age of cabaret and that golden age of Hollywood in the desert. And it's just terrific. PurpleRoomsPalmSprings.com.
Well, and it's a wonderful space, and Michael Holmes is tireless, and the community really rallied after the pandemic and raised a whole bunch of money for the Purple Room to help them through the tough times. And then we have Unbound, an act of bondage, and I actually have devoted a whole episode of my show featuring
I saw it.
the creatives and members of the cast. And for those of you who do not know, Unbound is the third work in a trilogy by Nathan Hall that gives stories of queer desire and sexuality, traditional operatic form. And they have multiple performances coming up. The website is unboundopera.com. It's an immersive experience. So if you can wear whatever you want, if you're into leather, you can show up in your leather. And you actually can walk around during the performance, and you can observe people up close and personal. To find my full episode about Unbound, you want to go to PromoHomo.TV. It's still on the homepage. But David, how about I play a sizzle reel from a previous production of Unbound, and then you and I can talk a little bit more about it.
Please do.
All right. Here you go, folks. And by the way, this is suitable for all viewers on social media. This video is. I don't know about the show itself, but let's take a look.
In the fantasy of my desires, he could play many roles. The athlete, the bad cop, the bully, the loner, the drifter, the man you could never have, the man you could never have. The
You know, I'm so excited and interested to see this because this to me is like Tosca meets cosplay. I mean, as you can hear from the performers, they have some serious vocal chops on them. And this is a trilogy, serious musicians, presented in a way that is interactive, timely, I'm sure there's some people that will think it's a little rough and around the edges for them, but it's a serious production that I think will interest people. And it is interactive. I encourage people to come see it. And I think it's perfect for this time. I think it's perfect here in Palm Springs. And I really have to tip my hat to Jerome and his whole crew. I was taught that theater is the revelation of private truth in a public place. And this certainly is what Unbound is about. So it's going to push the envelope a little bit, but I think it's going to receive a very, very receptive audience here in the Coachella Valley.
Well, we need the audience to be pushed. And then next up in our cavalcade of events, Choir Boy from Des Art performs.
Another musical. Des Art Performs has been around for 15 seasons now, just like the Purple Room, just like Acapello, just like the singers in Unbound. The performing arts really suffered, and many people thought would not come back during and after COVID. So I really have to give it to Des Art Performs. They did a lot of interactive events during COVID, and they came back almost fully last year. But this year, the 2022-2023 season will be their first full live in-person season at the theater that is inside the Palm Springs Women Club. And Choir Boy, first of all, it's a musical. Secondly, it is really a touching coming out story. And thirdly, I can say this as a very white cisgender man. It's so nice to see a cast this diverse, a cast that is mainly African American, and it is gay, but it is completely human and touching. I don't think this is a show that you're going to leave unimpacted by. I think you're going to laugh, and I think you're certainly going to shed a few tears. It is really a moving and wonderful start to the season for Des Art Performs.
Well, congratulations to them, and I know that they do a brilliant job, and they have a lot of support from the community, and I'm so, we have riches of live theater in the Coachella Valley.
Yeah, Coachella Valley and Palm Springs, wow. I mean, for the size of the population we have some incredible talent here. It's not because of the talent of the actors and actresses, but the creative talent, the directors, the musicians, the composers. We really, really do punch above our weight, as they say.
So tell me about, by the way, for the viewers, if you go to davidperry.com, there's a news section. You can find stories about all of the productions and individuals and events that we're talking about tonight at davidperry.com. Past, present, and future stories about everything that you want to know. So I want people to know that. So tell me about Pride on the Page.
Well, thank you. I'm really honored by this. People said, "Oh, well, how did you get this?" This was something I didn't pitch. I was approached, and I'm so excited. The city of Palm Springs, it's also an official gay pride event. Pride on the Page is a 2-day book festival. This is LGBTQ authors being interviewed, talking about their books. Also Sharon Gless, who everyone remembers from her TV days, and also Queer as Folk. She's doing a special Q&A on Sunday at the Plaza Theater. So I encourage you to do that, because not only is that a wonderful event, it's a fundraiser for the Palm Springs Library Foundation. So I'm being interviewed as one of the authors on Saturday, November 4th at the library downtown, right opposite the plaza. And there's I
think November 5th isn't it Saturday, November 5th?
I'm sorry, you're right. It's Friday, November 4th for me. Thank you. I'm glad you have a calendar. I'm there.
Well, the reason I know that is because I'm the official broadcaster of PromoHomo.TV of the Pride Parade, and that's November 6th, which is on a Sunday.
Thank you very much.
They're on November 4th, Friday.
Yeah, that's why I have to have calendars and Nicholas Snow in the house with me. I am Friday, November 4th at the library downtown at 10 a.m. That's my panel, and that's New Voices in Gay Literature. And then on Saturday, a whole nother realm of panels, and they're all free and open to the public. The 5 o'clock event with Sharon Gless at the Plaza Theater is a paid event. And again, that's a fundraiser for the Palm Springs Library Foundation.
And how do people find tickets for the? Do they need tickets for the free portions, and how do they get tickets for the paid portions?
So prideonthepage.com, or if you go to the website for Palm Springs Pride, since it is an official Pride event. You can
He has
find it
Pride.
there,
He
and I know
has
you'll
Palm
provide the
Springs.
links as well.
It's palmspringspride.gay, actually. If you go
Palm
to
Springs Pride.
palmspringspride.gay, you can find the list of all their official events. So tell me what's cooking at Grand Central.
Well, here's the deal. Grand Central is an iconic restaurant right in the center of it all, La Plaza downtown. And we like to say that it's always Grand Central time. Breakfast, lunch, brunch, munch, nibbles and bites, and dinner. They're open 7 days a week. But the thing that I want to talk about is we know that this Pride is going to be a big deal because last year was kind of out of COVID. And this year, the president says we're out of COVID. I don't believe it fully, but we're better. There are a lot of people.
Well, the president did acknowledge he misspoke.
Well, we understand that's unusual for poor Joe, God bless him, but I appreciate the sentiment that we're trying to get on beyond COVID. And there are a lot of Pride events going on, and a lot of people who are looking for places to hold Pride events. And I think a number of people don't understand or don't know that Grand Central Palm Springs has a wonderful event space behind the restaurant. Art filled right now. There's an amazing artist from Bolivia, Lucia Grossberger, that has art. There she is right there. That is based on her work in the digital medium. Her first creation was done on an Apple IIc computer. And this special event space has rotating artists all the time. It's perfect for your Pride party. Right now is the time to plan your Thanksgiving event. They're also open for Thanksgiving dinner. And if you're looking to plan a holiday event, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, now is the time because they're booking up fast. So there's my shameless plug for our wonderful restaurant client, Grand Central, in the center of it all at La Plaza downtown.
Well, fantastic. And I know that we've specifically focused on your clients, which I disclosed at the top of the show that we were doing that. But I know that you and Alfredo are very involved. You're very busy. What are some of the things that you are looking forward to this season that are not specifically client related?
Well, the first thing is last night, Alfredo and I had the privilege of doing a tour of DAP Health with one of their ambassadors, Bertil Lindblad. And I admit, I thought I knew the scope of services provided by DAP Health, and I didn't. And I did a post about it last night, and I admitted to the fact that I really don't react well to overly emotional pitches for funding or money, but I do react well to hearing personal stories. And last night, I heard some stories that moved me deeply. And for those of you who think you know what DAP Health does, you really don't. I urge you to take one of these tours. It's so important to the community, and I don't mean just the LGBT communities, but most of the work done at DAP is with marginalized communities, people who can't pay or are falling through the cracks. This is a true community resource that is unique to the Valley. So I urge people to support that. The other thing I'm looking forward to this year is in a couple of weeks, the Equality California Gala is going to be here in Palm Springs. And, Equality California is known for its support of marriage equality, but we all know the midterms are coming up, and I'm not ashamed to say that I'm very partisan. I'm a Democrat, and I think that we need to pay attention to this coming election and support candidates like Will Rollins and support other candidates who are supportive of the LGBT communities. And Equality California is one of the groups that does that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I appreciate you putting in that plug, and I personally think I interviewed Will Rollins earlier this week. There's an exclusive half-hour interview with the two of us on the homepage of PromoHomo.TV right now. And I also had the opportunity to do an interview with Christy Holstage as well. And I'm honored that Will dropped by my little show, and we had a really wonderful conversation that I was, as I mentioned, so honored that he was participating in.
We need more people that truly are dedicated to public service. As you mentioned at the beginning of the show, Alfredo and I spent the summer working abroad in Europe. And as I've said several times since then, the war in Ukraine is on our newspaper headlines here, but there it's front of mind everywhere in Germany, in Italy, in Spain, in Poland, where we were. And that war is all our fights. We are going through a time now when democracy is being opposed, and we need to stand up in every way. And the way we can locally is support candidates like Will Rollins and Christie, who represent our communities in a way that is authentic and courageous. So my hat is off to both of them.
And also, Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz is running
Absolutely.
for re-election, although he doesn't represent the same cities. One of the things that I was excited to learn, and as written about in the New York Times, is that the redistricting caused Desert Hot Springs, Cathedral City, and Palm Springs to all be in the district in which Christie and Will are running in. And that actually gives them more of an advantage. Well, actually, they didn't have an advantage before the redistricting. They were kind of a little bit disadvantaged. But with the redistricting, it gives the Democrats a bit of a lead. I'm going to play another clip that has everything to do with what we're talking about, and I'm going to come back to you for a final remark.
Well, I didn't know you were going to play that video, but I fully endorse that message.
Thank you. I'm going to be doing a lot of voting related programming between now and the election, and I want to give a shout out to one of my regular viewers, Christian Ortega. He says muchas gracias, amigo. He watches every episode, and so I appreciate that. So, is there anything else you would like to say to take us home or take us homo?
Well, no, my grandmother who raised me said there were two magic words, please and thank you. So please watch Nicholas Snow and PromoHomo.TV. The work he does and the commitment to the communities of the Coachella Valley and the LGBT community are not to be overestimated. And thank you, Nicholas, for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for being fabulous and for your long-term support with Alfredo of my work. Stay tuned, David. I'm going to speak with you briefly after the show. And for the rest of you, I will see you tomorrow. I'm live Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. It's a lot of work, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm glad you are too.
Ahoy.